We're ready.
Ready? All right. The Bedford Township Park Commission, June 10th.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, we'll call the meeting to order. Approval of the agenda. We have a change on the agenda. We are going to drop item D at this time because it's already included in the treasurer's report. So we don't have to really discuss it. We can discuss it at that time. Anybody else have any additions to the agenda?
I don't see a note, but Mitch is here.
Yeah, adding Mitch into,
Okay.
add Black Swamp Disc into Park Partners reports.
Okay. Just making sure he's covered and has.
There are nobody else here, so if we want to just remove everyone and just put him in as A.
I mean,
We can do that.
I would leave them listed just for
listed, yeah.
meeting over meeting.
Yeah. Why?
Black Swamp Disc. Okay. All right, any other changes? If not, somebody should.
I'll motion to approve the agenda with
I'll
those.
second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Approval of the minutes of the May 13th and May 23rd Park Commission meetings.
I motion to approve the minutes.
I'll second. All in favor?
Aye.
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 Signing per diem slips is already done. Secretary's report.
Report.
All right, treasurers.
All right, so we've got a couple of different ones on here.
Just gonna glance off yours.
Oh,
You have your mic on, Carol?
I do. Oh, wait, maybe I need to.
Way lower.
So we have a couple of different ones on here. One is a different cleaning company, as the hall was dirty and needed cleaned for a rental 2 weekends ago on a Friday night, and I couldn't get the normal cleaning company out to do it, so we were charged $97 for the cleaning.
Okay.
And then 3B was asking if they could be reimbursed for at least a portion of what they've spent remodeling the bathrooms. So the $1,500 what they're looking to be reimbursed, which in total I have their total in here. Sorry, I've moved it to a different folder. In the total, just in the stalls, they spent over $3,000, $3,183 in replacing the stalls in both bathrooms. Plus, they had both floors epoxied and replaced the toilets. So that would bring our new total up to $4,434.13.
And the 1,500's on there also. That's the
Yep.
annual.
With that total. Yep.
Okay. That
Should it
includes.
be $14.99.99? Because if it's 15, then maybe we've crossed the threshold. I'm sure they'll take 1 penny less.
Is it $14.99.9? I'm not sure.
Well, I mean, like, if we give them $1,500 for reimbursement, then maybe we're opening a can of worms that we've.
Say, why didn't.
Well, yeah, like, exactly.
Yeah.
So we should probably reimburse them $14.
Well, that was how I explained that, because they had gotten 2 bids. And I was like, well, if you guys had gotten 3, we could present that and go that route. But they got 2 bids, so.
So I think we're giving them $14.99 then, maybe. Should we say that?
Yeah.
Okay, so that would make the total $4,434 and 13 cents, or 12 cents and 12 cents.
Say it to me again. Sorry.
$4,434.12.
1-2.
And that includes that the annual for revise the software booking system.
Whatever.
Correct. That's what that
$14.99.
1,500 is.
No. That was for reimbursement of 3B's remodeling in the bathrooms.
Oh, there is no revised 15. I was saying I'm
Yeah,
just
there's
looking
a
at Carol's.
software maintenance revise on here, right?
Oh yeah. That's the other.
Saying
That's
that-
the other. That's the other $1,500. Yep.
That's what I'm saying. That
$1,500 from
other is-
revise. Yes. I apologize. Yep.
And that's an annual.
That's annual. Every year we have to pay that. That's our fee.
That's what I thought.
So.
I'm just noting it.
Okay. I'll make a motion to approve the $4,434.12.
I'll second.
Yes.
Yes?
Yes.
Yes?
All right. Motion passes. Do you want to approve the rest of the bill? Or that's the whole
No,
thing?
that was the whole thing.
Okay.
That was the whole report.
Good. All right. Okay, so park partners tonight. Mitch, you are representing Black Swamp Disc, if you want to step up. And
So we are all geared up for our tournament this Saturday. We're still thankful for you guys letting us use the park for that. So just wanted to put that out there again. And then I did want to make sure that on the next reimbursement cycle that we're getting, we haven't been reimbursed for the concrete and the posts and everything. Installment.
We approve that.
Everything's turned in. It's just waiting for their meetings and check cuts.
Okay.
So it's already through us. It should be soon.
Yeah, that day, yeah, they were. So you would give me those receipts, and I'd turn those in. But he needed an actual invoice with your guys' company name on it.
Okay.
So when you sent that to me, I immediately printed it off and drove it over there, signed,
Gotcha.
dated. So now it's just waiting on them to.
Cool. And then I know we've touched on it before, but we've mentioned, like, in our minds, the next step for Parmley would be a welcome board and course map that says, shows the layout of the course. This is where you're going to go on the property. This is where you're not going to go. This is private property. Please stay off this property. I sent you guys an email. I don't know if you saw it, but our recommendation for what we think would be the best layout, the easiest layout to use would be the one that Ottawa Park has.
Okay.
That's the first set of pictures on there. It's just a 4x8, basically plywood with a 4x4 frame on the outside. And they actually on the back of theirs, so it's the plywood base can have signs mounted to it, and if they need replaced, if the map needs replaced eventually, or if you want to add or take away certain signage on there. The idea is that the structure can be there and stays there, and that the signs can be swapped out. So Ottawa Park, on the back of theirs, they have like basic instructions for disc golf, or safety and what's the word when
rules,
yeah,
regulations.
I can't think of the word. When you're let someone play through if they're playing faster than you. I can't think of the word I'm thinking of. But stuff like that. There's other things you could do. Like at Parmley, you get a lot of hole-in-ones because they're short. And there was a tradition established by someone where you sign the basket or you sign the tee. And a lot of courses have been trying to stop that. And basically they have a little plaque where if you ace, you can sign the plaque, and the plaque gets swapped out every year. So different things like that that we don't have to decide exactly what goes on the board right now, but there's things like that could be nice. Another good use of that would be some open space where you can post. This might be a good way to, we're kind of discussing what makes it an official tournament. It could be a way for you guys to monitor, if someone has an event posted there that did not go through you guys, that's a way that you can almost help people to come to you first to say, hey, if you want to post an event on our sign, please come to us, go through the Parks Commission. So that's what we'd recommend as far as size goes. I do have an estimate on there. The actual map itself can get pretty pricey based on size, so those are estimates on there. I just wanted to talk to you guys about it first to see where you guys are at as far as what thoughts are before we go any further.
So I saw it, and one, thank you guys for all the work at Parmley already and installing the T signs. They look awesome. You guys did a great job, and thanks for heading that and taking that over. With that, I think you're on the right track. The next step would be like a course map and this style thing. If you can, basically, I'll motion to let's move forward with this and go. 1,500 is like our threshold before we have to go and get other bids and all.
$14.99.
$14.99. I know your sign price was anywhere from $800 to $1,200, which brought you just over that 1,500 mark. Yeah. If you can, I would say move forward with get a sign design in place, a layout, what it's going to look like, and get that to us with that layout, what the price would be, and try to keep it. Basically you'd be aiming like 1,100 and under. Mm-hmm. We'd be able to break that threshold with everything else.
Or I didn't know if you wanted us to build the structure first and then do the sign. There's. Yep,
and that's that way too. I was thinking that the same way. It's really sign wise, like you're under the threshold, you're gold, and then we can treat it as the maintenance or the install of it after the, just like we did with the T signs.
The only problem is you can get into the whole splitting invoices on a single project.
Yeah.
It's still, if you're,
That's where
even though it's one you're doing it different.
I think
It's still one project, and they all.
And your estimate
add
total,
up.
I think, was 1535. So, and that's if you go with the T sign at, or the main sign at 1200, your high end, versus if it were at 800, you were at like 1135 or 55.
You're not terrible. I mean, we would just have to make an effort to get more bids, which isn't a big problem.
Gotcha.
So we would, because anything over 1500, we have to get 3 bids.
Was that something you guys are going to make yourself, or this was
The same company.
some company that you went to? And
Yeah, so the structure, obviously, for same way we did the posts, which I guess it has to be invoiced through our company anyways, but that was intended to be a reimbursement for materials. Obviously, you know,
Provided the labor.
yeah, that's fine. But like this, I didn't.
But the
see this
signage-
email. I don't get the emails.
signage, yes, is a product that my company provides.
Okay, so there, it wasn't like you were passing us off to another company or anything.
No, I mean there are obviously, like, we don't make
Yeah,
the signage material. We have suppliers.
I was thinking,
We don't print it.
get something for all the parks, like a standard uniform
Yeah.
sign for every park, you know, with a map. I know the parks aren't that big and maybe don't all deserve a map, but maybe they do, you know. I mean, Ansted and Wheeler could both have a little map park, you know.
Wheeler has one.
There's one little thing there in the front, right? But
Yeah.
I mean, something uniform for all 6 parks
Nice.
would be nice if we're doing it for Parmalee. So I don't know. I mean,
Parmalee, mainly, this is the, it's a
Disc golf.
disc golf,
Because
Right,
of course.
a
Yeah.
course map.
Part of that would be, you know, that nice logo we have on the T signs. It'd be nice to like incorporate that in the.
Yep. And that's what I'm
Make
saying,
it-
like, honestly, I would get a design, get that logo incorporated, make it uniform to the T signs you just did, and get us a real number. And, I mean, do we need to motion for him to, I don't want you investing into it yet?
Yeah, well, the design is pretty
That's
That's the investment.
some work, so I just want to
Yeah,
make sure if
yeah,
it's
yeah.
something that needs bidded out that we don't.
motion up.
We would still have to bid it out. If it crosses that 1500 or 14,999, we would
Okay.
have to get 3 bids.
I'll make a motion for
So-
you guys to move forward with the design and layout before production, just bringing that to us with the total price for project coming in at $14.90.
How much is the layout itself? Because we could purchase the
Structure.
layout itself.
The structure,
No, just to design the layout. Design it.
I can find that out for you.
before actual producing?
Yeah, because I mean, we could approve and hire you to design it,
Okay. I didn't
and then
know
bid out
exactly
the
what
getting
options
it
were.
done. And you'd be open to bid it just as much as anybody else.
Okay.
So, but that way we can, at least get the design ready and be somewhat moving forward on it. Yeah.
So basically, what you need from me is a cost to start the design.
Yeah.
Kind of what you're looking
It's
for next.
a full project. Like, why we're going to bid out just the production of the sign and the install? It's going to be under $1,500.
Yeah.
And who is going to install it with zero labor cost and just material cost? They're donating their.
Well, it's not that. It's we have to get 3 bids. I mean,
If it's over 1,500.
yeah, if it's over 1,500.
I mean, it's possible that I want to get an exact cost on the actual sign itself
I guess.
because it could be over 15.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's where your numbers were. If the sign was 800, you're well below that. If it hits the 1,200 mark, you were like $35 above that.
And you're sure that we can't deem the structure itself a separate project
We
from
can.
the
Yeah,
sign
no,
that goes
that's
on
splitting
it?
invoices.
Okay.
Call us on it.
Because if you were to redesign the map or add a rule sign or something, those would be considered separate projects from the structure. Correct?
Once it's up and it is there, that's more of a gray area.
Technically,
Technically it'd be splitting invoices still, but technically it could be a separate project. I mean, it's yeah. You can't plan to split invoices. You can't plan a project in terms of trying to stay below the threshold. To
I
split
can
invoices
plan to
up.
get a sign and then seeing if our maintenance will install it.
Good. Yeah.
So focus on the sign.
So
Okay. I can get you a.
We can reimburse, or they can take from our account for maintenance to have them install it, and we'll give them here's what the structure looks like. This is what they need to build. And if they don't want to take the labor and all that, we have somebody who's willing to donate labor and their time if we cover the materials for them, just like we do with the T install signs. So, like I said, I'll motion to approve no more than $1,500 on the design and production of
$14.99.99.
$14.99.99 for the design and the look of a course map sign for Parmley.
Okay.
Before you produce it, I definitely have the design and bring that back so we can review it and approve it. Don't go and produce it and bring it for by 8 minutes.
I don't think it needs a motion. I think
Yeah,
it's
that's
a
what I'm saying. Do we
recommendation.
even need a motion or
Yeah.
just, that's where I'm
Recommended.
open
I
discussion.
don't. Yeah, I don't.
The gray area we fall under, like,
I reiterate that recommendation.
I love.
I don't think a
the
motion is
signs
needed.
Look fantastic. You guys donated a ton of labor and time in doing it professionally and properly, and I have no problem looking to go to the next step of getting a full course map in and looking at the steps beyond that on these upgrades.
Yeah, I think the signs look great. Another little note on it that we should look into is possibly selling like a golf tee advertisement sign on each.
Well,
Cause they
that's-
look really nice. I
Putting
mean,
the
they look
posts
great.
in like that allows us to now visit.
Yeah,
them
because there's room
and
underneath.
add space.
In our
something.
mind, we're kind of planning on. I know like sponsorship's kind of a thing to talk about later, but we were planning once we have the map built and the T signs. That's like the perfect time to really plan for baskets, which is the expensive part, and so exactly what you guys are talking about. But.
Yeah,
So-
in terms of a course map sign, the way the T signs turned out, and that was our focus was, hey, step one, let's get these and see how they
Yeah.
move forward. Like, let's get it done.
One more thing I did want to ask about is the possibility of doing a glow event
I saw
at Parmley
you had
Park.
asked that. So yeah, he has, doing like a night event.
It is. Have you ever been back there at night? Have
What's that?
you ever been back there at night? It is.
I have once.
It is
Really dark.
pitch black back there. I mean,
But I mean,
You can't see the teeth.
like when the park was
well, they
being
put those
vandalized a
little
couple
things on
months
all the
ago,
trees. They
they could only hear what was going on. Nobody could actually see the damage being done. Even the police said that when they got there, they couldn't, like, they could only see what they could hit with their spotlight. It was so dark. So that's the only problem with the glow event back there. I mean, there's the lighting, which,
Yeah.
I mean, you could always bring lighting in.
Yeah, with appropriate lighting.
Yeah.
That, our other, like I said, we'd have to discuss all the concerned neighbors and.
Yeah, because there are ordinances against different noise ordinances and things like that,
I don't
especially when you push up against residential properties.
Yeah, I don't think it'd be that loud. From my understanding, there's a car show happening on the.
They do theirs
Yeah.
every year back there, and that's a concert all night.
Compared to that, this will be nothing. If we're able to do something.
Well, technically, the park's closed at dusk. So.
The painting raid might even be grandfathered in before that, like some other businesses that were getting in trouble but were grandfathered in. So,
I think the real question is relaxing the dawn to dusk rule.
yeah.
Special
yeah.
permission.
So
Yeah.
if you, like, I guess we could motion to
Be an exception.
accept
Say-
that day or that
For an
time.
event, for this date, for this.
I also think if you got a sheriff, you can, I've heard like $75 an hour. Has anybody heard that before? That you could like get the
I have
sheriffs
no
or
idea.
something? No more?
I've never heard of that.
Yes, you could get you could
You
hire.
can like hire out Monroe County sheriffs at an
Be there.
hourly rate and have them
They
there,
can't
which I
see
think
it.
would, for us, be more than enough. It was, if
Yeah.
it was like, hey, we've got the sheriffs for an hour and a half or something, that would be easy motion to
I mean,
allow,
that's what
you
we do
know.
with the fireworks that go to
Yeah.
school property now, but yeah, they have the sheriff and the fire department.
Let's talk about it. I'll,
Yeah.
reach out. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm sure we could find a way to make it work.
Cool.
I like the idea.
All right.
Okay, thank you, Mitch.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Comments from the public?
Oh, hold on. Actually, there is a 3B presentation I got to read.
Okay.
Sorry.
All right. Well, yeah, I gotta read community ed too.
Good evening, Bedford Township Park Commission. We are starting to wind down our 14-year-old and under divisions for the season with only 3 weeks left until the championship games, which will be followed by a 3B Mud Hens Day on Sunday, June 30th. Besides all the rain we have had and the rescheduling of games, it has been a great season so far. The weekend of May 31st through the 2nd, we hosted our first annual Border Blitz tournament, which saw 18 total teams playing in 3 different age divisions from 10U, 11U, and 12U. Our 11U 3B Elite team were the champions in their division. We have received a lot of positive feedback from the teams and look forward to hosting in years ahead. We provided all teams with a handout highlighting our local Bedford businesses and our 3B sponsors to help boost business locally. On Friday, June 21st from 5 p.m. to 11 p.m., we will be hosting our third annual 3B community event, which is the Night of the Bedford Fireworks. This event has really gained traction and is a way for 3B to give back to the community. We offer food, patriotic party favors, glow-in-the-dark items, etc. to purchase, and also free games and face painting for the kids. This event is open to everyone in the community. On Saturday, July 27th, we will once again be hosting our second annual golf outing at Giant Oak Golf Club. Registration is open for teams, and we are also looking for hole sponsors. This is a great fundraising event, which helps us with improving not only the 3B program itself, but also maintaining and improving the facilities and fields at White Park. For more information, please visit the 3B Baseball Facebook page. We appreciate your continued support and partnership. Jim Sheeb.
All right, thank you. And then I've got community education. Nancy wasn't able to make it tonight. She says, good evening. Soccer ended last Saturday, and this week we're gearing up for T-ball. We have 16 T-ball games and 10 T-ball teams starting this week. We're using every baseball diamond at Indian Creek on most weekday nights. We left a few open for rain dates, just in case they're needed. Pre-K teams will play games on Tuesday nights, and grades K through 2 will play on Saturday mornings, starting the week of June 25th through July. We have a small girls softball league for girls in grades 3 to 5. They begin their season this week as well with 4 teams. Several of the fields are also home to 7 teams from 3B and travel that are using the fields at Indian Creek for their practices each week, and we keep getting additional calls for more use. The Summer Parks program will begin next Monday with just under 100 students in grades K through 5. The request for parks has been phenomenal, and the wait list continues to grow. Golf, tennis, safe sitter, art, and swimming lessons are still being offered. In fact, tennis may add additional classes. We added a third pickleball class that will be in, sorry, I lost it. Hate when that happens. Touch something I shouldn't. But that sounds good. Third pickleball, you know, hey, you need that. Come on, there we go. Come on. Okay, third pickleball, here we are. Summer Parks program will begin, blah, 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 golf, tennis. Third pickleball class that will be ending soon. We are discussing adding another class yet this summer, and again, one in the fall. We will let you know dates once they're determined. In July, we begin finalizing our fall schedules, and work on the brochure has already begun. Please let us know if you have any thoughts or suggestions on new or revised programs for the community. We value your input and insights. Thank you. Sincerely, Nancy Crandall. All right. Now, comments from the public.
Gail Kane, 105.6 West Temperance. Lamar says he can't hear a word you're saying. He's watching on TV.
Oh.
So, and they say inside that it's a cable issue. So,
Oh.
I don't know how we're going to get this fixed. It's been an ongoing problem, although Chris mumbles. I can't hear him, and I'm sitting here. Number one, the lanternfly has been spotted locally. So amongst the cicada, we also have the lanternfly that are plastered onto the barks of the trees. And I know that you have 2 educational groups that are monitoring Wheeler Park. You had, what, Michigan State and somebody?
Michigan State had, we contacted them. I have not heard back from
Okay.
them whether or not they're going to continue to monitor or not.
All right, and then you had the Ohio group as well, so.
Yes.
Your millage is listed on your agenda here, so I would suggest that maybe you check. I know that there's questions and concerns about how much you're asking for. I mean, the parks used to be supported in this township, not only at the township board level, but through the community itself. So maybe before you make a final decision, you check back to see what that millage was. It had always been supported. The parks were always well taken care of, winning awards for their playscape changes, and it wasn't until a 0.5% renewal that was attached to that other one, instead of having it be a separate vote, did we lose our park millage. I see smoking's on the agenda. Smoking versus vaping, you're opening up a Pandora's box here. I can see not smoking within the playscapes, but are you talking the parking lots, the cars, at the disc golf course, the ball fields, the bleachers, and who you're going to call? Ghostbusters? I mean, you know, our ordinance doesn't work, so I'm just saying when you bring it up. And then number 4, moving on your sales of your pocket parks. I'm looking forward to working with Todd on his pocket park for an improvement to that site. Thank you.
Nailed it.
All right, anybody else? No? Okay. So moving forward,
Yeah, this is the first I'm hearing of this.
yeah.
What's going on here?
So, ban the use of all nicotine products from the parks. Chris, that was something you wanted on there. You want to speak to that first?
Yeah, I get regular, not weekly, but a few times a year, people complaining about parents smoking cigarettes in the playgrounds, and to be quite honest, cigarette butts laying around quite a few places, and somebody had asked me, you know, what could be done about it, and I told them I could put it on our agenda, just like anything else. So,
Why nicotine products and not cigarettes?
Vaping.
chewing tobacco, people spitting, chewing tobacco all over in the parks. I mean, that's the biggest ones around the baseball diamonds. I mean, my kids play in the dirt over there. I'm sure a lot of other people's kids play there. So.
I mean, we ban alcohol.
Yeah.
So, you know, nicotine, I mean, yes.
And it's not like, well, to be honest, it's not like anybody's going to go out there and be looking for people doing it.
No, it's just that it's there.
When
I wonder if there's already a state law. I bet there's already.
There's not that I could find.
Oh, you looked? Okay,
Yeah.
fair enough.
All right.
So, I mean, just like any of our other ordinances, it's going to be a complaint-based situation.
Which isn't going to get enforced.
So,
It's more or less just having it there.
Put it on the sign like everything else.
What,
Be a list, you
basically,
know.
let's buy 10 different signs now and spend more money on signs to know every rule we have in place.
No, I mean, if there's two, let's say there's two parents at a playground, one's not smoking, one is, one asks the other to stop, rather than the other being like, screw you, I can do what I want, and sitting there and smoking 10 packs of cigarettes, at least the one who has made the request is in the right and can
Call
at least,
ordinance
you know, attempt, yeah, I mean, even if it takes hours or whatever, I mean, like, establishing a right and wrong scenario is probably important, so, I mean, we just say smoking vaping?
it doesn't
I've seen
necessarily...
lots of signs that say smoking vaping. I mean, like nicotine products. I mean, there's those pouches that people chew on. There's a lot of nicotine products, you know.
Yeah, and with the signs, you don't have to put signs up. Like, we don't have a sign for all of our ordinances that we have in the park. I mean, it's, like I said, it's more for when there's a complaint situation.
Does this have to go to Township Hall anyway?
Yeah, so what it would have to do is we
get
would
the
have to
rules?
decide, they would have to decide, and then Phil would have to write an ordinance.
So we just
So-
wrote it, send it to the township.
And then do you guys want to add marijuana to that also? I get complaints. That's what I
Is that
get.
already on there?
That's intoxicants.
Yeah,
Parmalee
that's already,
Park.
that's
already
already,
covered.
yeah, it's already covered in the current ordinance.
Yeah.
And that's what you can pass on to your little disc golfers because they're out there freaking smoking weed, doing edible. No one can smell it because it's the parents that are all complaining to me.
kids.
And you know what? I mean, they're going there with their kids to play in the park and then they got to smell the weed. Just tell your guys to do edibles. No one can smell that.
I motion to approve a ban of smoking and vaping from the parks.
I would just do the nicotine products, just to cover, yeah.
Yeah, that would cover it,
Does vape have nicotine? All vape has
Yeah.
nicotine in it?
as far as I know.
Fair enough. All right, I motion to ban the use of nicotine products in the parks.
I'll second. All in favor?
Yes.
Aye?
Aye.
No.
No? Okay. 3-1 passes. All right. Approval to adjust tee pads and baskets for holes 1 and 2 at Parmalee Disc Golf Course.
All right, so,
What is this?
so Mitch could speak on this a little bit too, but there's, I guess, a very large problem at hole number 1, and with people making bad shots and the discs going into the neighboring property. And then people climbing his fence and damaging his fence, which his fence isn't pretty, but, I mean, they're ripping boards off, busting it, and to get their discs.
That must have been the guy who came into my shop.
Probably. So another regular disc golfer out there, I think he has also some type of disc golf organization or business as well, had reached out to me and sent me a drawing. Yeah, Chris, can't think of his last name. So, no, but it's basically just shifting the tee pad for hole one and to the left a little bit to where you can angle it away, facing away from the property some, and then taking the tee basket and moving it away from that property about 30 more feet, so you're angling away from it. So you're not necessarily completely changing the hole or altering the course too much. It's going to be the same footage, so our signs are still valid for what we have. It's just shifting that tee pad and then moving that basket. And then in doing that, hole number 2 would need to be moved. The tee pad and basket would need to be moved, so that way you're not potentially hitting the people on tee pad for hole number 2.
Is this something maintenance can do?
I believe so.
You think they can pick the whole thing up and
set it elsewhere, yeah.
Can I ask for an outside view? You disc golf there regularly.
Mm-hmm.
What's your...
Yeah, come on up. Come on up.
You've got a little more
Yeah.
insight and experience on the course specifics than
I would.
some others.
That's not a bad plan, but it assumes like there's some assumptions there I don't think are maybe great assumptions. The assumptions are that maintenance can pick up 2 tee pads and move them and perfectly level them again where they don't break, and pick up 2 baskets and dig new holes for them and move them without breaking anything. I think that's going to take a long. It seems like a long project to me. I'm not sure. And then even when you do that, a bad shot is still going to go over the fence.
Right.
I'd rather have a barrier up. I would suggest something similar to on Dean, the practice field for Bedford. They have it's just 2 poles with eye bolts and a cable, and then a net hangs from the cable. Or some sort of barrier. Trees would be great, but you can't just plop trees there.
Yeah, trees.
Some sort of barrier.
Trees would take a lot of years to get big enough for there. And the only problem with that type of netting is there's all the oak trees there, and they will regularly drop branches and stuff on it and damage it.
Yeah.
And then to do metal fencing, that's a lot of cost. I believe maintenance could move it, but they're the only ones that could tell us if they could or not. They have loaders with forks, so.
Issue with moving mulch for over a month and a half. This is way more in depth than that.
They've always done it in the past.
We've always done what in the past?
They've always mulched. They've done the mulch at the playgrounds in the past until we've had volunteer days and we asked people to do it. But prior to that, it was always maintenance taking care of it because they had the equipment. They could go in there and they could move it. So all of a sudden they can't do it. I don't get it.
If that was a concern and an issue for over a month and a half, I'm concerned of, like you said, picking up concrete slabs, moving them, actually moving the baskets, because they're breaking out. Basically, those are concreted in place under. They're going to have to dig a massive hole, get the baskets out, re-pour, like this is
definitely for the baskets, that's for sure. And then the pads, is it as easy as lift and plop?
Yeah, they have a loader and a backhoe. I mean, that's.
those pads.
There's pads that are already cracked because they weren't perfectly
Pads are cracked
level.
out. Basically, we're looking at pouring 2 new pads.
Yeah.
I think they could move them. I think if they break, then pour 2 new pads, but I think they can move them. So they're not that big of pads.
So if we
I'd just
motion
say
to
get
do
new
this,
baskets.
is it just, it goes to maintenance?
I'm hearing of that. I get it. The discs are going out. Has this been an ongoing complaint and a serious thing?
Yeah.
If the neighbor was that ticked off, he'd probably be here at a meeting to ask, Parks do something about this.
He went into Tot Shop.
Yeah, I think he has more fun.
He sent out, yeah.
I think he has more fun keeping their discs because they go in his yard, they don't get them back.
Get better.
Was he charge you guys $5 for him to get them
Word
back?
on the street is that he feeds it to his dog.
Yeah. I told him, good job.
Private property.
Yep.
If I hit a golf ball into somebody's home,
I told him, because even he said that's how his fence is getting broke, because they hopped the, I said, dude, get a paintball gun, start shooting them when they do that.
What if we pay for a fence or for a sign? Can we just buy a sign that says discs that go in here are lost?
Private property.
Trespassers will be prosecuted? I mean, why are you going to go after your disc if you think you're going to get prosecuted, right?
You could. I think moving the holes would cut back on the amount of discs going over there. It's not going to stop it completely.
But he doesn't care about discs. He cares about jerk-offs going
Yeah,
over
but
the fence.
what's going to...
He'll take all the discs.
But it's
So, well, the disc's not going over there. It'll cut back on the people going over the fence.
But if he can call the police,
So
if somebody's in his backyard, he can
we can
call
call the police now. He can call
dude,
the
they'd
police
be
now.
gone before the cops.
Maybe.
Yeah.
They have
Well,
more
if he
fun
got a
shooting
video of them and they're on hole 1,
It'd be
and
more
then
fun
20
shooting
minutes
them with a
later,
paintball
he
gun.
presents the video to the police and says they're probably on hole 4 or 5, 6, 7, 8 right now. And
I think some signs would help people not go in his yard.
I mean, let them have all the discs in the world.
Yeah, but
Can we get
how much
Pat's
do the
insight? Like, let's get him out
actual,
there and get a look at it.
Yeah.
I think we approve it, give it to them, and if they say they can't do it, they can't do it.
you know, because that's what we should explore. That to me would solve the problem. You hang the net.
That's
And
a
we're
quick,
back
Okay,
to
if
just
it's
leaving them
only
where they're at, but I
$100
think...
it's a
you
quick,
know,
easy fix.
Yeah, quick, easy fix.
Nets,
What?
sign, replace. Sign is cheapest and fastest. Nets, maybe.
Like you guys said before, no one cares about the signs that are up. No one's going to follow them.
Yeah, that's
Yeah, you put the net there, it's going to stop the problem, you know. Then he'll complain he doesn't like the net.
Smoking fields and
Yeah.
like.
No, I think that was he was asking if it could be done. If you guys could put up a net to keep them from going into his yard.
I'm sure they sell them, and I'm sure.
I
we
told
do.
him show up at a park board meeting.
Like
You're probably looking at anywhere from a 40 to 60-foot stretch that's going to need
stretch that
net.
needs to go about 15 foot high.
12 would probably do it.
12 would be good, you think?
You think they're only going 4 feet over the fence, or 12 feet beyond what his fence already is?
Is
This fence is 6 foot right now.
6-foot fence, so 12 feet would be 6 foot.
Another 6 foot up. I mean, yeah. If you're throwing it that bad, you're losing your disc.
Could put razor wire up there. I mean, ain't climbing it no more. It's
Yeah. I mean, I'm.
Well, who wants to check into the prices? Let's.
I'll look up some nets.
Yeah.
I think they're going to be pretty expensive,
Thank you, Aaron.
but, you know.
Yeah,
And I
appreciate
would
it.
get Pat out there to get a look and see if he thinks they can move the tee pads and the baskets. Like,
Yeah, let's find that out.
let's find that out.
I'll look up net prices. You call Pat. He'll do it.
Figure out the length of that.
I'm all right. You guys, somebody else can call and
Or
talk.
somebody else call. I don't know. I don't talk to maintenance.
Call it.
That's all right.
If any of that affects anything we do for the sign we're designing, let us know.
Right.
I don't think so.
If baskets are
Well,
changing or
baskets
whatever.
are shifting and they're mapping it. It's a little different look on that.
Okay, all right, thanks, Mitch, appreciate your insight on that. All right, C, approval of ballot language and resolution. Before we do that, I did find the original resolution back in 2002 through 2006. It was .25 mils.
0.25.
Okay, so what is it, 20 years since then? Inflation?
Well, the mills though follow.
Could we
No,
double?
the mills follow inflation because your taxes go up with inflation. Yeah, that's so.
But that was for, let's see, replacement, park improvement and acquisition proposal was what that was. They had to combine the two. They wanted an improvement millage, and then they wanted a replacement. They had to combine the two.
So it was 0.25.
0.25
What we
for
need
5
now is
years.
because obviously the amount of land value and the amount of people and taxable value in the township has drastically changed from 2000 or whatever
Right.
that was to now.
Yeah.
What we need is an approximate total of what our 0.475 is going to create. If it's going to create an absurd amount well above what we're estimating for the projects we're looking to get out of it, then absolutely we need to come down in a minute. But that was where everything I've looked over so far, we've never been provided a total. We just threw out a 0.475 mils and we've stuck to it.
There was Carol had numbers on that when we had done
I did
that.
at one time, but I don't know if I
So
still do.
That's my only
Wasn't Phil.
hold up on it. The new verbiage, getting maintenance out of it, kind of detailing what it's for, all of those pieces, everything that you've sent, the updates, I'm good to go with. It's the millage amount. And it's just verifying, really. I'm okay with the millage amount if it's, giving us an accurate number to.
yeah, my only thing with it is putting new infrastructure in. I'm good with replacing what's there, fixing what we have, in terms of that.
Well, it says construct and or install new park infrastructure and equipment. That would pretty much be like if you want a pump track, that's new.
Yeah.
That's what the new infrastructure
But we're
is.
replacing. We
Technically.
had a
Yeah.
pump track, so we are replacing.
We had a skate park that we'd be replacing with a pump track. We had, an existing playscape
yeah.
getting replaced with.
So that's, I want, like, I just, you know.
That's this one.
There could be concerns of
number
people
one.
coming in here and saying, oh man, this is great, let's build a splash pad. You know, and things of that nature that we just.
Because you were basically building this for a new board if it were to get passed, so.
Yeah,
Right.
because it's a big responsibility and a lot of money that people can go astray with.
That's why I want
very
to see what
easily.
the money number is.
Yeah.
Limit it to these specific items of replacing pretty much.
I had it, but I don't have it.
But the only problem with limiting those specific items, I mean, there's things with the parking lots that need done, fences, buildings like the pavilions that need a lot of repairs on them.
So you're thinking more number 2 of leaving it more generalized and not listing specific.
Yeah, more generalized, but not making it, leaving it open for people to come in and put in all kinds of new stuff. Like, I'm fine new playscapes because that's replacing existing. The pump track, I believe, is replacing the skate park.
Technically, yeah.
But yeah, you know,
Then get rid of the new.
so
You could literally get rid of the word new or install park infrastructure and equipment and to replace, improve, or repair existing park infrastructure.
yeah, because regardless, I believe that this should go to the people for a vote, and the people should decide whether or not
gets
this
voted
town
down?
wants this. Yeah.
That's where I don't want the number, all the 7.475 is getting us like triple the amount of what we're aiming for with what we are listing as projects.
Yeah.
We could be at, 0.35 mils.
All right.
Yeah.
I don't have that information.
That would
at
be
my
the only
fingertips.
detail I'm still looking at.
Let's, I don't know how much longer we can push this, though.
I believe the next meeting would be the last meeting we could vote on it at,
Can we-
before it doesn't make the deadline.
Get those the number details where it's an estimated approximate value. Because I would guess they're going to have to run from the last.
Thank you.
The last tax year.
Yep.
Yeah.
Of what the taxable value is, and so they give us that number and those details.
Yeah, I had them, but it's not my email.
And now we know the last one that was supported and had gone through was 0.25. We're almost going double.
Right. Well, but .25 they voted down because it was,
Well, because it was going to be an
Combined
increase
it.
on that,
Yeah.
and it was lumped all together in one.
Yep.
The 0.25 itself staying would have passed.
I don't have that information. I thought I'd have it with me, but I don't. So, okay, we'll get that. We'll push this to the next meeting.
That's the only thing. I mean,
And then we have to make a decision. That is the latest.
That's-
We can't
that would be the
go
biggest
any-
piece to it is the final. Everything else, like you said, all the updated verbiage, everything. I'm
Right.
on either number 1 or number 2. I like. Like Chris said, it might be beneficial to keep it not specific listed projects in case paving.
You want to make sure it's restricted, but you don't want to make it too restricted.
Right.
Like, I get, like, the list of items might be too restricted,
Right.
but you don't want to leave it wide open.
Because what if all of a sudden one of the halls needs like severe replacement and stuff, and it's not listed and they can't use millage money.
Yeah.
Right.
So, well, just like that roof at Carr Park, I mean, that was $40,000 that just came right that had to come out of the general fund. So,
Okay, we'll push it to next time. I'll try and get those figures for you for sure,
Yes, that's what the regular
and we'll go from there.
fund or the regular.
Yeah, but that's 6
Budget
years. We
is
gotta wait.
for.
Oh, wow, yeah. I mean, that other one, shares, we gotta wait for the capital improvement fund. Okay, Parks update. Anstead Preserve, I have nothing new to say about that. Cars Grove?
I have no update.
maintenance finished off what mulch needed spread over there.
Yeah.
So, other than that,
So what's remaining? Some area?
nope, some areas done. They did that on Thursday or Friday. I think Thursday.
It was just at White yesterday.
Oh,
There's
White
a
Park,
couple
there's
odds
a
and
couple of
ends
piles.
but
3B's been getting White Park done.
I didn't see any left.
Ridgepoint Church went to Parmley Park on Saturday and got Parmley Park done. So yeah, other than that, we just have the pile that's got to get shipped out to the pocket parks, and then whatever park still needs a little extra.
And that's on maintenance too.
So yeah, and it'll get done when it gets done. I mean, that's fine.
Where is the remaining pile?
Car park.
Okay.
So over by the as
Say, I didn't
as
see
close
it
to the
like
maintenance
that.
garage as possible, where they got their equipment and everything. So Yeah.
Okay. So Parmalee then, I guess?
Yep.
Nothing for Cars Grove, anything other?
So we need to get the parking lot graded before stone. Like stone would be irrelevant, I guess. That Chris was
I think
suggesting
so.
also that.
I had sent an email out to get that done.
What, the township can grate things?
Yeah.
They have a grader?
Yep, that's what they bought the loader for.
Well, there you
Back
go.
in 2017.
We did it at White when we did the stoning there. We had
Yeah.
that delivered. And
So we're
Yeah,
just
so
gonna-
I got to talk to them. So they said they wanted more stone before they grade. But
I thought we grade before stone.
you should. You should grade before you put new stone down. You should get
So-
that surface even and then put the new stone over top of it so that way you have even layers. It's less likely. Well, it's going to get potholes, but they don't form as fast. It slows it down.
But are they
So-
thinking they want to do it all at one time? Is that why they want the mulch or the
stone.
so
I haven't-
that they can
I haven't
grade
been
it,
able
throw the
to-
stone down and be done.
Pat's
in
been-
2
Pat's-
days or whatever.
Okay, so I like have the stone on site so
Yeah,
they
on
grate
site.
and pour
Yeah,
and just
yeah,
the whole
that's
thing.
what I'm thinking.
So okay, then I'll still go get quotes for stone and let me know
Yeah.
when they're ready
Yeah.
to grate. And
Okay.
if it's sitting there, maybe that'll encourage the grading.
Oh, nope. I believe after July 1st, the way they're voting the budget in is just going to be you just say, hey, we need stone, and they're going to go out and get it.
Go get it.
Okay, good.
So-
All right, so
Aim
we'll,
for this to be after July.
And then we're just out of the loop on
At
it.
this
Couple
point,
more
with their
weeks,
scheduling
yeah.
and that.
great. That's fine. Okay, that's the
But
plan.
yeah, I mean, I support it. It needs done.
Yeah.
Do what we got to do to get it done.
Yeah.
So do we want to do a motion and then just pass it on to them, or just call them and say, do it?
Call them and
Stone.
tell them.
Yeah, you just call and tell them. You don't have
Grade
to.
it and
Okay,
get the
all
stone
right.
you need, and
It's fine.
I mean, they'll put it on the schedule for July then. Just tell them,
Yep.
it's got to be done.
after July 1st.
And the other thought was the course map and the board. I think I'm gonna maybe look at companies that could provide all 6, even though I know that would probably be like
Okay.
$10,000 or $15,000. But I think getting all 6 done would be really
Well,
nice.
if you start getting prices now,
Yeah.
you get those prices, you turn that paperwork into Bob and say, hey, Bob, this is what that stuff's going to cost. And he will start planning and trying to find the money for the next fiscal year for that budget. If it's not in this fiscal year, is the way I understand it. But you got to have that information to him by January 1st.
That's why I think if we're going with a sign for Parmalee for a course map,
Yeah.
go for all of them, have something uniform.
I think it's a great idea. I mean, it's not going to happen with that kind of price. It's not going to happen overnight.
No.
But if you
Probably
start
what it
now,
ended up being.
within the next year and a half, you should be able to.
Yeah, good.
As long as that's the direction that the park board and then the township board wants to go.
Fair enough.
So
Good.
Okay.
I'd hate to make my only. I get it for a disc golf course, like an actual course, and that's what we're mapping. To do a park map, though, I'd hate to do it. And then, hey, we do get a millage, and hey, now we're putting a pump track in and doing this.
Yeah,
and
you
this.
gotta add things
And
to
all
the
these
maps.
maps got to change.
Yeah, that's true.
Like,
yeah.
I can get it for a specific, like a golf course, a disc golf course. If you had a pump track, here's the map of the pump track, and
Yeah.
here's the different routes and
Maybe
options.
just the walking trails. Maybe
Or the walking
Maybe
trails,
do
I
the
get
walking
it.
trails. And
Or you
then
could do it.
I
Or you
like
could
Anstead and Wheeler. I like that idea. Like,
you could do more of an
It shows your
information
There's also
board,
one for Wheeler, and they don't have one in Anstead. but
or
we
even
do have
instead of a
for
map,
it.
for like
an
Online,
information board.
They can look.
I'm sorry, but car does not need a map.
Right,
You pull in the
right.
parking lot and look. There's the playscape. There's
right.
the ball diamond. There's the rental hall.
We're just
Like,
like
what
the
do you want
welcome
now?
board. But okay, I mean, I don't know. I think if we're gonna have one, we should have them all.
Look for it for like Anstead and Wheeler to map trails and stuff.
Sure.
That makes sense.
I'll look at sign prices
Yeah.
too.
Okay, all right. So
or
Mary Ann.
even at a minimum an information board with the amenities on it.
Yeah, that's what I was.
Self
serve as
so.
that as well. Good.
Nothing new at Samaria. I mean, the mulch is spread, the grass is cut.
Okay.
The parking lot's still too small. It floods between the parking lot up into the baseball field still. And it's going to stay that way until it gets,
We'll get some money.
redeveloped.
We're through April
Oh.
now, so.
Yeah, the worst part.
Yeah.
White Park. Anybody know?
I was
anything?
there yesterday. It was busy.
Okay.
Basketball courts were full. Surprisingly,
The bathrooms, you want to mention that?
there was no pickleball going on when we were there on a Sunday.
Really? I saw
It was-
late Sunday night they were going on there.
Okay.
It might have been Saturday.
We
that
were
I
there
was
mid-morning through the afternoon. And
Yeah, I was there Saturday. My son had a doubleheader there.
Well, I think they
Baseball
said
was
they
going
were
on.
even-
They-
they were
Yeah,
even
yeah.
one day without, pickleball.
So, but
I
no,
was just surprised because every time I've gone there in the
There's been
playscape,
somebody.
the courts are packed.
but yeah, no, they redid those bathrooms. They're really nice.
Okay.
But they still struggle with the same problems we do with people vandalizing stuff. So, but not as bad in those bathrooms. but they've had issues with the porta johns there regularly. Well, not regularly, a couple of times so far this year.
Come on, Bedford.
Yeah.
Really?
So
One thing we got about White Park, a call that came in about the tennis court being really dirty or some black substance on the tennis court. Getting on people's tennis balls and just being generally dirty. Anybody?
that's probably all the cottonwood trees dropping their
Yeah.
little sap things on
That's
the
not black,
courts.
though, is it? Cotton?
It'll
Well,
turn.
you said
No,
his
no, no,
tennis
not the
ball
cotton,
is-
not the cotton part. Before the
The
cotton
other
falls, the little
yeah.
seed thing that falls.
Okay.
I mean, I was on it yesterday bouncing a tennis ball, and I didn't
And,
notice
and
anything.
what'll happen is they'll fall there, and then they'll get washed off, but they leave that sappy residue behind, which like ruins paint on trucks. Like,
Jeez.
yeah,
So it gets washed off in the rain in general. Maybe it's not a problem anymore.
I was on it.
it might be a problem. I mean,
It
that's
wasn't an issue.
Yeah, I mean, so a gentleman called and wanted it power washed and said he'd go out and power wash it for us.
I don't know if you could power wash them surfaces.
Right.
Might-
I mean, you probably can, but yeah,
Would
you
it
probably have to
ruin
do
it?
like some type
Ruin
of
it?
soft
Yeah.
wash on that stuff.
Fair enough.
So
Well,
Wheeler Preserve,
Especially
I
at
have
that park.
nothing on Wheeler. Pocket parks, anybody had any complaints or anything about the pocket parks? No, good, all right. Comments from the public again?
Gail Kane, 105.6 West Temperance. Do you guys have a park calendar? You know how if you go to the township website, they actually have their calendar? You don't have a calendar that's
Calendar of
posted
days?
online? So if I went into the township site and hit parks for a parks calendar,
I don't.
that may be a useful thing for you to have available. It would show the kids could put their disc golf tournaments on there. You know, you got your ball fields when your shelters are rented and not rented. It may be an option. The other thing that your signs could be used for would be your team games. So if you have 3B and you have a sign there, you know, at White Park, even if you post it on their thing, their building or whatever, it would be, you know, you could have your games posted there or whatever. The other teams that have courts there could do the same thing. And as far as the millage, the money should come from the township. This is my personal opinion. The money should come from the township for the buildings upkeep. It's their buildings. You should not have to be having your millage money to pay for the roofs, to pay for this and to pay for that. Those are their buildings. And the maintenance definitely should not come out of your pocket. It's, the maintenance department should be paid. I mean, they hire summer help to take care of Pearl Albert, and the DDA has a ton of money. And so to be splitting those hairs to pay those bills, the DDA should have their own separate maintenance, but the township should be taking care of the maintenance on the parks for you guys. You should be focused on bigger and better things. So look at all your park partners. So that's it.
All right, thanks, Gail.
Thank you, Gail.
And I don't know if you heard, Gail, but the millage before was .25. I found the paperwork on it, so,
0.25 with a 5%.
for 5 years. .25 for 5 years, it said.
That was the original.
That was the original one.
So
There was the original, and then they asked for an increase, and the township
Lumped it
forced
all.
them to put it together, and that's when it got voted out.
Okay, so
People
it's
said
probably
we would have voted for the millage, but not the renewal. So that's where it all went haywire.
Okay. All right, so now we are down to commissioners' comments. Chris, anything?
Yeah, no, I just want to thank the people in the community that are stepping up to help with things in the parks recently. I mean, that's the disc golf community stepping up to help with stuff over there at the disc golf course, baseball team stepping up to help with things at the parks, township maintenance helping with the mulch. I mean, it didn't get done immediately, but it got done. So it was a lot of work, a lot of mulch, especially during the grass growing busiest time of the year. So, yeah, and just for anybody out there, you know, if you're looking to do something in the parks, reach out. There's a lot of stuff that could be done, a lot of volunteer stuff. Different organizations helping us hold volunteer days, such as the 3B I know holds one at least once a year. So that's all.
All right, thanks, Chris. The only thing I have was given to me by a Monroe County Parks Commissioner. She says they're doing their updating of their community parks and recreation plan, their 5-year plan, They have a survey online. They're asking people to go to www.co.monroe.mi.us, or you can scan the QR code there and complete the survey. I did it. It took maybe 5 to 10 minutes, if that much. It was painless. It was quick. So we're just asking that you take the time to get on there and go ahead and put in some comments about the Monroe County parks, because Vienna Park is in Bedford, but it's a county park. So if you have suggestions for that, go ahead and hop in and give your suggestions. That's all I have.
Not this Friday, but the 21st, is the community fireworks show. It'll launch at dusk, usually around like 10:05 is when they start. It is being held at the community stadium between the high school and junior high. It is not at Indian Creek. I've had to explain that multiple times. There will be some food trucks and vendor truck. Fire department, as last I knew, they knew all their details and where they're posting up. They'll be launched from the softball diamond behind the visitor side of the stadium back in the far corner. So if you're planning to utilize the stadium, only the home field stands will be open. Nobody's allowed down on the field. And they were going to rope that off and handle that as well. I got you the contact guy for that. Visitor side won't be open, but everybody be safe. It's always crazy when they end and everybody trying to get out, but police will be there to try to move traffic as best as possible. Be patient, but enjoy the show on the 21st with a rain date of the 22nd on Saturday if that's the weather in the case.
Okay. Aaron?
Just a reminder that the Parks line is messages only, no callbacks. You know, every now and then, or, you know, a few of the calls, people leave helpful tips and information and things that are informative, but mostly it's people making reservations on Revise and wanting to do something with their reservation and calling and asking for a callback. And we do not have a system in place to call back or assist people by phone for their shelter reservations. And just letting everyone know because no one's calling back.
Okay. And Todd?
Is there anything you guys need from me or anything I need to pass on to Trudy?
Yeah, are you guys putting that property on Covered Bridge up for sale? I mean, is it going out for bid? What are we waiting on there still?
That I don't know. I asked Trudy about it, and what were we waiting on?
Getting rid of the covered bridge.
Well, yeah. Now with that,
The uncovered
going up,
bridge.
but what did she tell me? Because that's the one that we were supposed to put out for bid and never went out for bid.
Yes, correct.
Yeah, I told her we want it put out for bid.
Yeah, so we paid a lot of money to Phil just getting it ready to go out.
Let me ask her about
Get
it.
It
to
meaning
us and get to
sale,
them.
up for sale.
Yeah, just to put it up for sale.
Yeah.
I mean, bid. I mean, it's going for sealed bids, I
I
believe.
guess it's going to have to go on your next meeting. Apparently we approved to ban all nicotine products from the parks, so you can have your board vote on that and see how they want to go about enforcing that. And
There you go. Yeah.
And then also, I will not be here at your next board meeting. I'll still be in Florida.
Okay. Well, enjoy.
have fun in the heat.
I'll be down in the Keys fishing. I don't care.
All right. I think that takes care of it then. I need a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in
Aye.
favor? Aye.
Bye.
Meeting adjourned.